Hi.
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 Say hi.
Hi. You can look at the camera. And you can look at Meg. We're starting the show.
You're on the show. Welcome to It's Just a Chat. It's just a chat with Josh and Meg.
And Aubrey.
And Aubrey.
Can you
We
say
all don't know each other.
Nope.
But I've officially
Well, I guess-
become...
No, I know Aubrey. She's my daughter.
You don't know your
each other?
dad.
Do me and you know each other?
Uh-huh.
Who are you?
Aubrey.
Aubrey?
Yeah, you daddy.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Can you say it's just a chat?
It is a chat.
Good job. So we're going to have Aubrey start the show. Aubrey is here at the house. Usually on recording days, she is at my mom's. Not because of recording days, just because she likes to spend time at Nana's. Right?
Uh-huh.
How much time do you spend at Nana's?
This much.
This much.
That much time. But
You hold my ear.
okay. You want to hold it? Sorry. So Aubrey is going to start the video with us today. And we're, as you can see, we're all dressed for what day?
Christmas.
No.
Um,
Saint?
Valentine's Day.
Close enough.
Dude, you're so silly. No, St. Patrick's Day. Look, all green. What do you do on St. Patrick's Day? What do you wear?
Green.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see, what's on your head? Look at Meg's head.
What's up here?
Green.
Green. Do you know what these are? It is a headband. Leaves. Close enough.
You see shamrocks?
Shamrock.
Aubrey, do you know what a leprechaun is?
Yeah, a leprechaun, it make a big mess.
They do make a big mess. Do you know what they look for at the end of a rainbow?
What?
A pot of gold. The scandal.
How much gold are you going to get, Abby?
That much.
That much gold? Do you have any questions for Meg or Daddy for the video?
Boy, both of us.
What do you want to ask?
I have mommy and Lou and daddy and Meg and Nana.
And Nana. Yes, and everybody.
Well, I love you too. I love you too.
Meg has become an honorary Hamilton family member.
I'm Aubrey's big sister,
Yes.
right?
Did Meg have dinner with us tonight? What'd we have?
Pizza and fun fries.
Yeah, we did.
What's your favorite? Do you want to say anything else before we go? You want to say bye? You want to say bye to everybody, or what do you want to say before we go?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
You
Aubrey.
gonna say bye-byes?
Bye bye.
So that was my daughter.
So that was Aubrey.
Yeah, so every Friday, we try to record Fridays. And so every Friday she goes to my mom's, just so she can have Nana time. But my mom's coming over tomorrow because me and Serena have a dinner to go to. So that's why she's here. And there was no way we were going to film without her being down here.
Well, I loved every second of it. In case you guys missed it, she loves me.
She does.
And I'm part of the family.
Yes.
And I'm her big sister now. So
For sure.
I'm very excited. I
It's
love
like
it. I've always wanted a little sister.
I know it's always been pizza, but you have had 3 dinners at the house so far. Which,
Family dinner.
to be honest, I think my best friend, my best of best friend forever, I think he's only been to my house once.
We've talked about this. It's because if you want me here right after work, you need to feed me, or you will
we do.
regret regret everything.
The one thing I do want to laugh about is you asked, and then we'll get to, because we have to get to something before it gets gross. The thing that, we've given, you know where the garbage is, you throw it away, you go grab a piece of pizza if you want it, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, can I have some water? Do you want me to get it out of and I was like, oh, we got a Brita filter. And then you're like, I can get it out of the sink. And I was like,
well, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why I did that. I've been here so many times.
Out of all the things.
Well, listen, I would rather die of dehydration than die of starvation. So,
we know where your priorities lie.
food.
Yes.
So yes, I have a surprise for Josh and
Yes.
for all of you. This relates back to episode 1. If you haven't watched it, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
So go back and watch it. But Josh hates so many different types of food.
I am extreme picky eater.
So,
Yes.
in honor of
St. Patrick's
St.
Day,
Patrick's Day.
which I took Aubrey's headband.
Yeah, because we needed something.
Yes.
I got us a surprise.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I got us Shamrock shakes.
I have never had one in my life.
They are melted and gross.
They're still cold though.
They're still cold.
But I have never.
Here's a straw for you.
I've never had
Straw
one.
for me.
I know you're like, I don't want to touch this. Just please touch the goddamn thing.
Where is it?
Just I didn't open it yet because I'm trying to talk. I've never had one. I'm not a big mint guy. So that plays into it. And then because of that, I've just never been intrigued. There's food that I won't eat, right? Like there's like, I've never had salad dressing and things like that. This isn't something I would say I would never have, but because I'm not a big mint fan, I never searched it out.
So since you're on a health kick, I'm going to force you to try
Health
it.
kick starting 2 days from now that I told her about. Yes.
I'm going to make you try it, and then I'm going to tell you how many calories
Calories in the sip that I took or calories in the whole thing?
in the whole thing.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead. I already know what it tastes like. I get 10 of these a year.
Are you ready?
Yeah. It's a big freaking sip. Oh, he's like, you got to let it sit and ponder it. Oh my God, you don't eat it.
You know what I'll give it?
Oh my God.
You know what I'll give it?
What?
Okay. And I'm going to give it based off of, because if I give it that I'm not a mint fan, I'll be like, oh, it's a 2 because I'm not a big mint fan. But for what it is and the excitement that people get over it, I would put this in like an 8.3 range. Yeah. 100%.
Holy sugar notch.
Yeah.
Oh my
Only because
God.
for me personally, like I would never search it out again because it's a lot of mint for me. But I see why people like it. It is delicious. It's not overly like sweet being a milkshake, but it's not whatever, but it's pretty minty.
Oh, I'm going to break you. You're going to love every type of food.
No, because there's some stuff I just won't try. I won't try any dressings. I won't try most condiments.
If I'm being honest, I thought that I was going to pull these out and you're going to be like, F no.
No. See, but I know what mint tastes like. I'm just not a big mint fan. There's a difference with the picky eating with that. Like I have my preferences, and I wouldn't try this because I'm not a mint fan. Where some people would be like, oh, I'm not a mint fan, but let me try it. For me being picky, I just won't try it.
Right.
But I don't hate mint. Like
Right.
I hate ketchup or like I hate dressing or like that I hate whatever. Look, I'll even take one more.
Oh, take one more. I will say that I usually get them and then I have 2 sips of them. And then I don't drink the rest of it because they're really sweet, and I'm not a sweets person.
Yeah. Oh, I have a sweet tooth.
But
Like crazy. I have a crazy sweet
I'm
tooth.
gonna Google it right now. Your
I'm ready.
mind's
Oh,
about
can
to
I
be blown.
guess?
Yeah. Hang
Do
on,
I
let me
have
look
to-
it up first.
Do I have to guess the based off the size? Or they're probably, I mean, what is that? Small? Is that what you're going to go
That's
with?
a small.
Or are you
I'm
just
gonna,
going to go
I'm gonna
with?
type in small.
Okay, I'm going to guess. Why do I have to wait? I can guess.
Oh.
I'm going to guess in one small Shamrock shake,
It's actually not as bad. as I thought.
650 calories.
It's 5.
500?
Yep. But I feel like
I went above because you were like, oh my God, I got to tell you what the calories is.
because in a large is 800 with 113 grams of sugar.
See, okay, that's the sneaky part of it, right?
Yes.
Because that sugar is also going to just have like damaging effects after the fact.
Yeah, a
Like-
medium has 78 grams. A large has 113 grams of sugar.
Okay,
That's a lot of sugar.
that's tons of
That's like a frick ton of sugar.
question.
Answer.
So Meg was nice, and she brought one for us. She brought one for my wife. She brought one for Aubrey. How much of it did Aubrey drink with it being 1 hour till bedtime?
Maybe that's why she was freaking pinging when she was down here.
Yeah,
because
so
sorry.
it's okay.
So I'm not cut out to be a mother.
Yeah, but I will say, like, it'll be good. It'll be okay.
She'll love it.
Yes.
She'll have the best night's sleep
But
of her life.
I would give it, I don't remember what I said, 8.2 or 8.3, but I would give it that based off of understanding why people like it.
Yes.
But for me, like, it'd be like a 2.4 because I'm like, just whatever.
Okay, that doesn't count. You can't
No, that
say, I'm
doesn't-
going to give it an 8, but like if it were me, I'd give it a 2. Like, shut up. What do you mean?
If I like
It is you.
my personal preference. But like if I'm sitting here thinking about people who like mint and like these things, I'm like, yeah, it's really tasty. It's not overly minty. Like I don't like thin mints. I don't like peppermint patties. I don't like
So what would you rate a Thin Mint or a peppermint patty?
peppermint patty probably like even in the rating of the 8.2, like the rating for other people, the peppermint patty probably be like a 2 something, like honestly. And for me personally it's like a 0.
I was going to say, so if you're rating that at like a 0,
Yeah.
then how are you rating this at an 8?
I'm rating it an 8 for the people, for the world.
We're not asking for the people or for the world. This is for Joshua.
Joshua. For me, then it's like a 2.3 just because I'm not a big mint guy.
Then I take all of my excitement and happiness
I'm not a big mint,
back.
but it's tasty. I get why people like it.
Okay, tasty and 2 do not equate.
But I'm not there. I feel like no matter what, I never have anybody come to my defense. But I think I'm making perfect sense here. That it's not horrible. But I can't give it an 8.3 because I'm not a big mint guy. But for people who like mint, it is extremely tasty. It's not overpowering. It's not whatever. But because I'm not a mint guy, I'm gonna like me personally. I'll be like, oh, it's a 2.3.
Okay, but we're not asking for the people. We're asking for Joshua. Anyway, he ruined my St. Patrick's Day
see the look
surprise.
of regret that she bought those and brought them here?
I'm not happy right now.
You made everybody else happy in the house.
I did.
But I tried it. I enjoyed it.
As your third daughter?
Yeah.
To you and your wife, I think you did a damn good job. For mom and dad, I brought home dessert.
You did. You brought dessert, and we appreciate it. And
You're
you
welcome.
got my daughter sugared up.
You're also welcome.
But that's not my problem tonight, I will say. So like when we like, spoiler alert, we have like real live like jobs outside of this.
Whoa.
So like we try to film a bunch of episodes like at once.
Yeah.
So Aubrey will be having a sleepover. So that is my wife's problem while they're trying to like go to sleep in bed and having a sleepover.
So long story short, you ruined my St. Patrick's Day surprise. I really thought that I had you with the 8. But this episode is about St. Patrick's Day.
It is.
So I'm gonna beef the people right now, and I'm gonna get the hell over it.
Beef the people.
Beef for the people. Did I
think
say
it's a
beef?
Also, I'm not sure because
You can't hear.
tiny ears. I have super tiny ears. If you can't,
Sweet, he's getting up.
tiny ears, man. Tiny ears. I say that anytime I can't hear anybody because people mumble. I don't hear a word people say.
I mumble sometimes. Sometimes my words like blah, blah, blah.
Beef.
That's okay.
I'm gonna be beef. Let me beef the people.
Let me beef the people.
So I
So
think that was in the Constitution. We beef the people, hold ourselves self-evident. We
What the
people,
hell is
we the
the
people hold ourselves self, right? We the people hold ourselves.
The people voted in a party.
Oh yeah. What are you singing, Hamilton?
No, I'm singing Schoolhouse Rock.
I don't know either.
Y'all know that little cartoon guy
I
that
know
sat on Capitol Hill.
I know Schoolhouse
and he
Rock.
sang about the boo
But I never
on Capitol Hill.
I never had a class or anything that like made me watch that. Do you know? Like, isn't that weird? I was in
That's
daycare
the
since I was
problem
like
with today.
yeah, I was in like daycare and things since I was young. So you would think somebody would be like
daycare. You wouldn't watch that until like 4th grade.
I was in daycare, like after school daycare in 4th grade until I became old enough to be a latchkey kid. Do you know what a latchkey kid is?
No.
You never heard that term?
No. Listen, I just heard the term trust tree the other day, and I had no idea what
What's
the hell
a
it meant.
trust tree?
Apparently the same thing as a safe space.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, they're like, oh, are we in a trust tree here? And I was like, like a bank
I would
trust?
look at like a trust tree would be a group of people of a safe space. Right? A trust tree, like a family tree.
It just made I was like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't like
what
that.
the hell is a latchkey kid?
A latchkey kid are kids that when you get old enough, you either get a key or there's a latch that goes to a fence in the back of the house or something to be able to let yourself in the house after school, and you're just there by yourself for hours until your parents get home.
So I have a story about when my parents entrusted me with the key.
I'll take it.
I lost it, left it in the house almost every day. Always forgot it. Was always locked out of my house all the time. I got like a huge keychain. Never had it. Was always like always locked out of the house. I was like, Mom, will you come let me in? Like, or I'd like call my grandparents. They would have to come home and let me in. Right. Well, one day, this is like years. Like I'm in high school at this point. Still just as bad as forgetting my key then as I was like in middle school.
Gotcha.
So my friend and I pull up to the house. And I like feel around my pockets and I'm like, shit.
It is the worst feeling.
Yeah.
I've only had it happen once, but I feel for you.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling.
I was like, shit, I don't have my key. And like, I forget where we were going or what we were doing, but she might have been dropped. My friends used to sometimes who lived like past my house would like drive me home from school because they had to pass my house to get home anyway. So I would just hop in their car and they'd drive me home. And I was like, shit, I don't have my key. So we're like sitting thinking nobody's answering the phone. I'm like, I was like, wow, my parents are really going to kill me if they find out that I've like forgot my key.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, this is like, I was early on in high school, like maybe a sophomore. So I'm like sitting there. I'm like, what do I do? She's like, and then I look at her and I'm like, I have an idea and this is going to be crazy, but we have to do it. We have to get to my house.
Did you break into your own house?
On the second floor. Now just wait. So I look up and I said, that window is not locked. I know it's not locked.
What room is it?
My living room. But my house, my house, it has like, when you pull up to the driveway, it has a huge flight of stairs that goes up.
Oh, okay.
There's an above ground basement.
Oh, so you have, okay, I know what kind of.
So like
okay.
you got to walk up the steps. So like you're looking at, when
Yeah.
you're looking at my living room in my house, you're looking up here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that window's not unlocked. She's like, okay. And I look at her. She had a huge, like an old Chevy Blazer. Like this car was old as hell. Like you have to keep in mind, they just brought back the Chevy Blazers like last year. Like they weren't a car anymore and they just brought them back. So this is like an original Chevy Blazer. So like old. And it was tall. It had big wheels. So we backed it up this close to my house. Okay.
There was no option for a boost?
Oh no, too tall.
Okay.
So we backed the truck up this close to my house. I climb on the roof through the sunroof. She had to, so I was able to like open it a little bit. She had to then push me up. Then she had to boost me to push the window up. And then she had to shove my ass, like push my ass and push me through the window.
And you got in.
And I got in. Here's the best part.
I'm ready.
I was a sophomore in high school. I am now 2 years out of college. Year and a half, 2 years. At my college graduation party, my neighbor comes up to me and he said, you know the one time that you backed the truck up and put it next to your house? He watched me do it and almost called the cops because at first he didn't realize that it was me and he almost called the cops and said somebody was breaking into the house.
Okay, so I get...
And never told me and never told my parents.
One, I thought you were going to say, he's like, I had a spare key. You should just... like, that would have been great. But, like... in a situation like that, I get his reasoning, like, I almost called the cops. But, like, when you see that, you almost are just like, wait a minute, this isn't worthy of calling the cops because no right criminal would be like, I'm just going to back up the car, like, in front of everybody.
Yeah, no, and it was blatantly obvious. Midday, like, not even at night. Like,
worst
at,
criminal ever.
Like, maybe 3 p.m. because we had just gotten out of school. Yeah, but I didn't know for almost, 3 years left in high school. 2 years left in high school, 4 years, almost 6 years later. I had no idea that anybody saw me. And he came up to me and he was like, hey, funny story.
I've been waiting. And he's like, I have the video. It's
no, thank God he doesn't have a freaking video. Oh
that
my
would be
God.
Amazing.
But it was honestly
pay
amazing.
Money for that
and
footage.
It sucked because the girl that I did it with, she used to be a really good friend of mine and her and I parted ways. We kind of just grew apart like with school and everything. And I'm like, do I reach out to her? It's been a long time, but I was like, God, I would love for her to know that somebody saw us do that.
I said, you know what? The podcast recorder has an option for phone calls with phones. Call her up.
Yikes.
Could you imagine
that
call right now and be like, hey, one, let's talk about, remember this thing, but also you're on a podcast.
Also, you are live. So watch what you say. Click. No, it was great.
That's wild. See, that's why I lost we had a garage door opener. That's how I got in. And I only had to lose it once. And then it got sewn into my book bag.
Yeah.
And
oh.
so like, so I never had
My
to lose
parents
it.
should have done that.
You just open like the book bag, and it was like kind of tucked in,
Mhm.
and then I just hit the button and it would open.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah,
So this episode was supposed to be about St. Patrick's Day.
it was. It turned there, and we can get back to. But that's a latchkey kid.
Love it.
That's where it came from.
I was a terrible latchkey kid.
I lived off of the latchkey life.
No. Are you Irish?
No, well, yeah, I have like 18. I did one of those ancestry things, like 17% Irish.
I'm probably like 2% Irish.
Really?
I'm like, well, technically I'm like 50-50, like majority. 50-50, like Italian and Polish.
Oh yeah.
But my Italian family and my Italian personality just trumps all the Polish
All
stuff.
the
So
stuff.
it's just not like it's
Yeah,
my
there's a lot of,
Italian
like-
personality is so there.
There's like Eastern European, like stuff like that. But I think there, like when you do like the breakdown, you could see exactly where. And there was like,
I usually just tell
a
people like if it's
15,
like
16%.
2%, I'm like I'm just Italian and Polish. It's fine.
yeah, no, yeah. But there was like there was like 16, 17, like that percent Irish for me. It was pretty.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you actually care about St. Patrick's Day? Have you ever gone out for St. Patrick's Day?
I went to one parade. See, we also talked about. Should we talk about this? And I was waiting to say this. I've only been to one like parade day. One.
I've
St.
only
Patrick's Day
celebrated
event.
St. Patrick's Day once. I was gonna celebrate it this year, but that might not happen.
Only once
so.
for you? With
Yeah.
all like, because I didn't go away to college, so
Oh.
like,
Yeah, we have to keep in mind. I don't know. I guess not. Well, the college I went to doesn't really do any
no.
St.
but-
Patrick's Day stuff. I went away once. Like I went to
Wow.
a different school.
Oh, where?
Penn State. I went to Penn State.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like you went out of like state.
Imagine
You went,
for
like-
St. Patrick's Day.
You went like down the road. I don't know where it is.
No,
Really?
I went to Bloomsburg, but Bloomsburg and Penn State are only like an hour and a half apart.
Yeah, you just like took a drive.
Hop, skip, and a jump. But yeah, that was the first time that I celebrate. Now they call it State Patty's Day because
Oh, they would.
They would. I mean, listen, I like Penn State. Penn State's a cool place. I'm not gonna talk shit on Penn State because
Serena went to. I mean, she didn't go to
branch.
Penn State, but she went to
Like a
Penn
branch
State.
campus,
Yeah.
yeah. But they call it State Patty's Day. So everybody like goes downtown. They buy every single person you see is either in the exact same T-shirt and the exact same sweatshirt because it's like a new design of like State Patty's Day
Oh,
every
from
year.
like the school.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that was the year, that I had to climb out of a window. We went into.
Why is this episode about climbing in and out of windows?
Oh my god, I have a thing.
You do. How many
Love it.
windows have you climbed out of? Oh, these only
In my
two?
whole life, probably 3. Nope, 4.
Yeah, I don't think I've climbed in and out of one.
Yeah. So this one, we went to our friend's celebration for State
Okay.
Patty's Day, and we were under the assumption that it was going to be like a chill hangout, like obviously not super chill. You're at Penn State, but
I
like
don't think anybody has said the word St. Patty's Day or State Patty's Day and chill hangout.
we just weren't expecting it to be what that's what I should say.
Those are
We
sometimes the-
weren't expecting
that's
it
the
to
best
be what
times.
it was. We got there and it was like packed like sardines in this
Yeah.
house. Like it was bad. I ended up seeing a bunch of people that I knew. Like it was great. And then I found myself sitting on a windowsill because there was nowhere else to stand. And my boyfriend at the time was like, just sit there. Cause like I was getting pushed around. Like it was like getting super, super packed. And I'm like talking to my friends who were like outside the window because they couldn't even get in the house. But I text them, I'm literally sitting on the window. I'll open the window. We'll talk, like whatever. So like we were
Yeah.
just hanging out. Like they had a group out there. We had like a little group inside. And all of a sudden it was like a stampede. You have to keep in mind there had to have been at least 200 kids in this house.
Yeah, there's no like fire marshal rules when it comes to
No.
especially like anywhere in like I mean probably other places, but like PA is like rough.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was bad.
for St. Patrick's Day.
And I like didn't know what was happening. My boyfriend at the time was like getting pushed around in the wave of kids. He's like, go. So then I'm
And
like,
you're like, go where?
I'm like, I've literally, there's nowhere for me to go. The people started jumping out the window. So I was like, yep, here we go. And I just went, boop. But then I realized that like I ripped the pockets on my jeans
yeah.
so much that I then cut my ass. Like I scraped my ass climbing out of this window.
To like injuries? Like you had a good
I had,
scrape?
yeah, I did. I had a pretty good scrape. And that was another time I climbed out a window.
I love it.
All for State
I
Patty's
only
Day.
have the time I went out. We went to parade day. It was a good time, but it wasn't anything crazy. The worst part about this area, and like, and
yeah.
I say it like, and I'll for people who know like The Office and Scranton and all that stuff. That's where like we went up to the Scranton parade day, which is like even more just always crazy. There was like no bathrooms anywhere,
Oh, no.
right? So we were like going all around. It was me and Serena's like really, really good friend, and then her friend's friend, and all three of us had to like pee so bad because you're like,
Yeah,
you're
you're out and
drinking
about.
beer,
Yeah.
you're drinking the whole thing, and we were like, where do we go? Where do we go? We found like porta johns. They were like 50 people deep. That's not happening. So we found this like weird restaurant hookah lounge kind of a thing. And none of us wanted that food. None of us wanted to be smoking some hookah or anything like that. And so we walk in and the guy sees us and parade day and all that stuff. And he's just like, oh, no public bathroom. And we're like, oh, no, we want to enjoy. We want to partake in the experience. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's like, oh, 1 minute, duty table. And be like, okay, that's fine. Can she use the restroom? Like we had one of the girls go first. So it didn't look like we were just going to like use the restroom. So she went. Then he sat us, and then while we were sitting, waiting for our waiter to come over, the other girl went, and then he's like, "Oh, could we get you anything?" And be like, "Oh, like we've had a couple drinks. Could we just get some waters?" And he's like, "Oh, of course." So then I went to the bathroom, and then he's just like, "Oh, okay, I'll be right back off those waters." Boom, out the door. Use the bathroom. Waiter came back with a tray of waters, probably the hookah thing, saying, "I'm."
Oh my
here's a-"
God, that's
and just-
actually genius.
and
I would
bought-
never have thought of that.
Yeah, and I mean, we had to go bad. It was rough. And then it's funny because like an hour later, which it is an hour later, and it's like when you have to pee like an hour, it's like forever.
A long time.
We went to like, there was like a hotel and they had a band playing in the lobby, and they had like 5 hotel bathrooms on the first floor that were like wide open. If we would have just like walked up the block and like walked into the lobby, it would have been like, oh, come on in. Like,
Please use our bathroom.
Yeah.
Please come in and use our
don't
facility.
go upset the hookah guy.
If you ever show you, they probably have you guys like hanging on the
they were
wall.
so,
like,
he had to be so mad
get
because he
away.
was just like, no, like you can't just use the bath. Like I'm like, no, we're here for everything, and yeah. We use the
Wow.
bathroom.
And that's that. I mean, well, by the time this comes out, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day, right? Before? Is it the 16th or the 18th?
You chose those 2 dates, and I'm pretty sure it's the 17th.
Well, regardless, if you are partaking in St. Patrick's Day festivities, be safe, be smart, because, you know, go out there and just have a chat, because that's all this is.
Yep.
This
It's
is
just a chat.
with Josh and Meg.
Doop.